Let's move on. So the case against some of these suspected illegal miners in the northwest has been postponed to the 22nd of January. 247 suspects appeared in the Stilfontein Magistrate's Court earlier today, where proceedings were marred by administrative issues and delays. Newzroom Afrika's Ziniko Mhlaba reports.
We understand that some of these criminals were transported or have been kept throughout, the previous days at Rustenburg, others in Welkom, others in Potchefstroom, and of course they all had to be transported to this particular magistrate court here in Stilfontein. So that was the first thing. And of course, throughout the day then, all these miners were given papers which have photos but also their name and case numbers. So during the course of the appearance, it was discovered that indeed some of these illegal miners had lost their papers, which are meant to be identifying them, but also some did not even appear on the court roll in terms of the list of the accused individuals, which was one of the main things which were very concerning for the magistrate, because he'll call out a name saying that I'm looking for a Ziniko Mhlaba according to the roll. And of course, Ziniko Mhlaba will need to stand up with that paper, which has a picture of myself as Ziniko Mhlaba. So there were two cases in which, there were two individuals who could not be identified or could not be allocated before the magistrate, when those guys were lined up in the, on the court roll. But also, very interestingly, apparently there was one individual who could not be identified inside court. He was on the court roll, but he was not in court, and no official could account in terms of the whereabouts of that individual. So he has been described as an escapee, according to the magistrate. Another individual, was on the court roll, but could not be identified in terms of the full name. And when the magistrate questioned whether the person has a passport or any form of identification, that accused individual said that he does not have any form of identification with him. So it was then difficult for the magistrate then to proceed with the charging the individual. And of course, he ended up saying that, well, Home Affairs will have to take over that process. And there was an issue of a miner who was, according to the records, described and identified as an elder person who was supposed to be standing, with other accused individuals who are up above the age of 18. However, when that individual had to stand up and identify himself, he said that actually in terms of age, he's 17, not 18. And then the magistrate was also frustrated by that because she was not aware of that. And according to the records the magistrate had, that person was an elder. So that person had to be then handed over to the Department of Social Development.